Zone again, and it is. Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Did he make the catch?
For the final time, as high school athletes, the top football players from North Central Ohio take center stage under the Friday night lights for the 37th NCOFCA All-Star Game. Our live and free coverage is the only place to watch on all of planet Earth, so get your popcorn ready and keep it here, because the show starts next.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Summertime back then looked a little different. But while summer may change, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips, and let's summer.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
It is Friday Night Football in the middle of June. What a treat we have for you folks, featuring stellar senior standouts from all over the region as we welcome you into the Carothers Pest Control pregame show for the 37th edition of the NCOFCA All-Star Football Game. I'm Brian Skoronsky. We'll be hearing from Hayden Gray on the sidelines throughout the night, as well as Mr. K-Mac Plus himself. Mason Kidwell is going to be hanging out with us in the booth here, and then also he'll catch some of those K-Mac athletes down on the sideline when they do some awesome things throughout the course of the night. So for a third straight year, here we are at the fabulous Colt Corral in beautiful Belleville, Ohio, and it just seems like the mood is right for some big-time football. The sun is shining, excellent conditions out there, the crowd's starting to fill in, and representation from more than 30 teams here tonight. So there are a lot of players from all over North Central Ohio, names that you have come to know and love on the high school gridiron, many of them that you've been watching for the last 4 seasons here on the OH Report. So we've definitely got a big show on hand for you guys, and we cannot wait until this thing kicks off. But earlier in the week, we did get an opportunity to catch up with both teams. We dropped in at their practices to see how things were looking for them, because this is such a unique experience for all of these athletes. Sometimes you'll have maybe one or a couple of teammates out there that are from your home school, but for the most part, you're just learning a whole bunch of new different kids, and it's a great opportunity for them to get a be in close proximity with some athletes they've been going head-to-head with for years and years and years and have a chance to team up. So we'll begin and take a look at North practice from Tuesday night. Our very own Madeline Zazzuto was out there. Here's what she captured.
I think it's anytime you get the best football players in the area and you bring them together, you learn from them, they learn from you. It's fun seeing those guys interact with one another instead of being enemies in the field. It's a great thing, and then you put it all together and you get some good football. And that's what we're excited about on Friday, playing against the South team.
I think it's just good to get just one more chance to be on the high school field under the lights Friday nights, even for the kids going off to play college ball. This is the last time we can really play in a high school field. It's nice to get to play one more time with my childhood best friend. So
excited to play with Johnny. I mean, we played baseball together for a while, and it's read about each other, seen each other, and I think it's a cool opportunity to play with schools we haven't played with or against. I'm excited to play against just the bigger schools like Mansfield Senior. I mean, we sit back and watch them as a Crestview, but we think we can hang with the bigger schools, but we don't really know. So it's kind of fun to be in that situation to play against the bigger schools.
We all get to show out one more time, have fun, and hit each other hard. So I'm excited to go.
I'm just excited to play on a high school field one last time.
An inside look at the North practice, always taking you closer to the action than anybody else right here on the OH Report, your exclusive live stream provider for tonight's event. And how about those North All-Stars? What great representation, some awesome teams, a whole lot of victories racked up by the senior athletes competing tonight. Crestview, they've got 4 guys on the roster tonight. You heard from John Metzger out there, the record setter for Ashland. Buckeye Central, Bucyrus have a couple of players on the team. Tiffin Columbian they had a late scratch. Hillsdale with a few athletes. Madison Rams, Mapleton, Monroeville, Norwalk, Plymouth, Seneca East, Shelby, St. Paul. Tiffin Calvert, Upper Sandusky, Western Reserve, Willard, and Winford, all forming the North squad with that gentleman right there leading them the charge. Steve Haverdell, back-to-back Violence Conference champions for him and his boys, and he's got plenty of Cougars at his disposal here tonight for the continuity. Let's go ahead and meet all of the players for the North squad. Here is a look at their roster.
Addison Raymer, Crestview High School, wide receiver and safety.
Braden Stone, wide receiver DB, Shelby High School.
Caden Cunningham, safety, Crestview.
Caleb Porter, defensive line, Plymouth.
Cameron Klein, O-line, Shelby High School.
Carson Siniger, linebacker from Willard.
Chase Rosbert, St. Paul, center.
Colton Sparks, D-line, Plymouth High School.
Ethan Truex, linebacker, Ashland High School.
Evan Hill, wide receiver, Upper Sandusky.
Gage Manson, offensive lineman, Hillsdale High School.
Garrett Kern, running back, safety, Mapleton High School.
Grayson Heidinger, wide receiver DB, Shelby High School.
Jack Wozniak, O-line, Norwalk High School.
Jake Haverstock, quarterback, Hillsdale.
Jax Rogers, tandem linebacker, Hillsdale.
John Metzger, wide receiver, safety, Ashland.
Cam Wheeler, outside linebacker, receiver, and Shelby High School.
Cohen Keith, running back, linebacker, Winford High School.
Levi Allen, running back, linebacker, Upper Sandusky.
Manny Mullins, running back, Buckeye Central.
Mason Ringler, Crestview High School, O-line.
Max Vesper, safety, Hillsdale High School.
Noah Finley, receiver, Madison High School.
Peyton Barnhart, O-line, Monroeville High School.
Preston Smith, Hillsdale High School, defensive end.
My name's Randy Banks. I play wide receiver, and I go to Bucyrus High School.
Rhett Gross, linebacker, Western Reserve High School.
Riley Parker, I play defensive end, and I'm from Bucyrus High School.
Shea Sparks, running back, Plymouth High School.
Sheldon Hartzler, Mapleton High School, and guard and linebacker.
Tatum Turka, wide receiver DN, Madison.
Trenton Mock, O-line, Willard.
Will Kurtz, linebacker and long snapper, Calvert High School.
There are your members of the North squad, all introducing themselves, very professional looking Sunday Night Football-esque right here on Friday Night Football in June. These All-Stars coming out onto the field now. The South squad, boy, they've got a loaded roster as well. We had a chance to check them out over at practice on Wednesday afternoon. Hayden Gray stopped by. Let's take a look at what we saw.
Number 19 from Fredericktown, Tegan Rule.
Right, I tell you what, it's a blessing to be able to come out here with such great talent. Obviously, it's great to coach my own kids again, but even more than that, some of those guys I've coached against, I've seen them on film all year. We played against them, tremendous athletes. It's good to have them on my team for a change. And the guys from other schools that I haven't met, they've been coached up really well. Great programs, you can tell. They come out here to work extremely hard. And the really cool thing about football in general is it's just getting to know people. We've all gone through the grind, and we're all football guys. And it's like I said, it's an incredible blessing just to be able to meet new people. And even though they're young kids, obviously we're going to try to win an All-Star game Friday night. But it's just another really cool chance to be part of a brotherhood, a different kind of brotherhood.
All right, who I'm excited to play with, I'd have to say Ricky. I've known Ricky for a while now. I mean, everybody I'm excited to play with personally, they've all earned spots on this team, and I'm excited to play with them one last time.
Just to go out there and have some fun, really honestly. Knowing that this is going to be my last time suiting up, nothing really to lose, have fun, really.
It feels amazing to represent my school alongside a couple of my teammates to finish out my season and my career as a football athlete for Mansfield Senior. It feels amazing.
I'm really excited to play with all the Clear Fork guys. I didn't really get to follow them this year, but I was really looking forward to playing with them, seeing what they can do for us. I've heard they're really good. I'm also looking forward to playing with this River Valley quarterback. I heard he threw for 4,000 yards. I'm really excited to see him in action.
It feels great to come out here with all these great athletes and great guys and be able to put on the pads one more time and play one more football game and represent my school.
So cool to see all these collections of players all coming together. You see some of the country kids, players from like a Mount Gilead or a Loudonville teaming up with some of the kids that you would consider from the city, like a Mansfield Senior or a Marion Harding, and all competing as teammates here tonight as we've met the South squad, or excuse me, the North squad. Now it is time to hear from the South. Here they are.
Cybel, Colonel Crawford, center.
Power out, Clear Fork, running back.
Kane Shadone, quarterback from River Valley.
Zach Frankford, receiver, Loudonville.
Gabe Thu, Colonel Crawford, middle linebacker.
Will Garrison, linebacker, River Valley.
Cameron Lohr, Colonel Crawford, quarterback.
Tegan Rule, Fredericktown, running back and DB.
Jamarion Fagan, corner out of Lexington High School.
Mason Pipes, Clear Fork High School, corner.
Matt Kleinert, Colonel Crawford, outside linebacker.
Sean Putt, Mansfield Senior, specialist.
Aaron Thornton, outside linebacker, Mansfield Senior.
Eli Brewer, Colonel Crawford, O-line, D-line.
Landon Pedigo, I play O-line and I'm from Highland.
John Mounts, Ontario High School, O-line and D-line.
Carson Steinmetz, East Knox, receiver and DB.
Carter Jones, receiver, Crestline High School.
Caden Riddle, Clear Fork, offensive tackle, defensive tackle.
Mason Hoflick, Fredericktown, running back and linebacker.
Victor Skoog, quarterback, safety from Clear Fork.
Braylon Boone, Ontario High School, right guard and defensive end.
Judah Reed, defensive line, offensive line, Mount Gilead.
Matthew Bland, I play QB receiver and I got Mount Gilead.
My name is
MAC teams involved there, so to give you a few nuggets about some of the squad, how about Mr. K-Mac plus himself, Mason Kidwell, joining me up in the booth tonight. And Mason, it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you've made a name for yourself covering just this one conference. You've got great ties. You're a Mount Gilead grad over there. So seeing so many of them come together, it's unusual and awesome all at once.
I totally agree. It's just super awesome to see all those guys out there. And what can I say? You know, just so many of them.
Who would you say that you are most looking forward to seeing, like, get together tonight? Two teams that normally a lot of fury and anger when they get together, and now they've got to be nice and come together and play nice.
Easy answer. Battle of 42, Mount Gilead and Cardington.
And we will now take a brief moment. We'll step aside for the playing of our national anthem. It is time for the Star Spangled Banner. Then we'll get you ready for some Friday Night Football. Just about set for action here at the Clear Fork Corral, hanging out with Mason Kidwell, Mr. K-Mac Plus, and I know you got to get down to the sideline, do your thing, take some nice photos, and ultimately give the K-Mac fans what they want. When you go down there, who are some key guys that you think by the end of the night we're going to expect to see getting in the end zone, making some big plays?
I got to go with like Owen High and Zach Frankfurt. I feel like both really good wide receivers. I'm expecting lots of touchdowns from them.
So those are two guys definitely to keep an eye on tonight, and make sure that you give this gentleman a follow. Certainly I've seen you on the Instagram. Where can people find you all over the social media world?
We got Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all just KMAC Plus.
So check out KMAC Plus. Mason Kidwell going to be with us all night tonight. He'll be down on the sideline as well, getting some interviews with some KMAC athletes when they do some big things. So your OH Report debut, looking forward to this thing tonight?
I'm so looking forward to this.
All right, brother. Well, hey, thanks for the time up here. And anytime you feel like you got somebody down on the field that wants to talk to you, we'll bring them on.
That sounds good.
Was wavering due to multiple reasons. Lauren Blackstone from that point took over the lead of the organization.
Now doing a quick ceremony and presentation for Lauren Blackstone, who really has been a big part of this football game for a long time, is my understanding, at Blackstone Insurance, sponsor of ours here tonight.
Will be forever known as the Blackstone NCOFC.
So they are going to be renaming the event and putting Blackstone at the beginning of it, so it will no longer just be the NCOFCA All-Star Football Game. It'll be the Blackstone NCOFCA All-Star Football Game. So thoughts and prayers out to Lauren's family and certainly him, and just wish him good health. And always hoping for a great football game where everybody, of course, can be healthy. So this is going to put a bow on our Carothers Pest Control pregame show. If you've got a pest, call the best. That's what Carothers offers. I set up service with them today. So definitely a big fan of their services and what they bring to the table. Family owned and operated out of Shelby, Ohio. Great look here at the Clear Fork Valley from up top. Stands are starting to get pretty packed. Looking forward to seeing all these senior athletes suit up, lace them up for the final time in their high school careers. I've heard so many former athletes in this game talk about the friendships that they've been able to create, keeping them for a lifetime, and it's just starting here tonight, as we're going to get a fair catch, it looked like, here on the opening kickoff. It was a nice kick there by Devin Holloway.
Fair catch.
So the South squad going to begin with the football here tonight. Interesting to see all these different athletes. How are they going to utilize them all? But certainly Caden Shadone, River Valley quarterback, is going to be the guy that's going to start things off here under center. And they're just going to keep it on the ground, though. First down. And it's going to be a pickup of a few. Take a look on our Shakley Mechanical replay. Is Powie Alt of Clear Fork trudging forward there, getting the tough yards in between the tackles. Powie, a first-team All-MOAC performer, also earned honorable mention All-Ohio as a senior. As it's a high snap, Shadone able to handle it. Great athlete, gets it to Powie, and he takes the pow this time. Big pop, no yards, might have even lost about 3 feet there. First contact made by Ethan Truax, the son of one of our favorite new members of the OH Report, Zach Truax, who's going to be having a brand new show starting at the beginning of winter with wrestling. You are not going to believe how much great content we're going to have with that gentleman. Definitely looking forward to that. Great throw on the money by Shadone there. In and out of the hands of Matthew Bland, playing the slot tonight. Real versatile athlete, of course, from Mount Gilead. Put right in there on the shoulder pads and just carried off. So incomplete, fourth down, and the South squad's going to have to punt it away. Back deep to return here, Jonathan Metzger, record setter for the Ashland Arrows this past season. Great career. Not a great snap, but it's handled there by A.J. Young of Lexington. A late addition to the game. Not much of a punt, though, as it goes out of bounds right at midfield. And we'll get our first look at the North All-Stars. And we always love hearing from you All-Stars out there in the social media land and YouTube and Facebook. Drop us some comments. Let us know where you're watching from, who some of your favorite players are in tonight's game. And just pretty much anything that you put out there, we're going to talk about here on the broadcast tonight. I'm riding solo up here in the booth, so as much information and little fun activities as I can have going on the side with you guys, the fans, watching live and free, the merrier. And I've just been tempted with a gummy bear by Mr. Adam Thompson, our director, who actually, he's going to hold it down on the second headset. So I do have friends here. Small friends. It's going to be Jake Haverstock getting the start here tonight under center for the North All-Stars. And the Hillsdale senior incomplete on his first throw of the night. So it's going to bring up second down and 10. Randy Banks of Bucyrus brings in the play, spells out Camden Wheeler of Shelby. Still searching for our first down of the night as we get a split backfield here. And looked like basically a direct snap there to Shea Sparks. Plymouth running back, another record setter. Had such a sensational single game performance, I believe as a sophomore. Kind of rewrote the history books there. Most yards ever in the history of a single game for Plymouth. 390 yards against Mapleton is what he was able to churn out. And the crazy part about that game, he only needed 15 carries to do it. So you want to talk about efficiency and bulk yardage, yards per carry, all that stuff. Off the charts for Shea Sparks. And able to pick up 6 yards on that one, so a decent start. but slow getting out of the huddle for the North All-Star, so they're going to take a timeout here. So Coach Steve Haverdale and his staff wanting to have a conversation here with their boys. And it's unique to see always if coaches are how they're going to approach this thing. We've seen such varying degrees over the last few years. Last year, it felt like the Shelby staff was very on top of things and took the game quite serious, and they had to mount a big comeback to be able to get a win last year. Saw Scott Spittler and the Lucas Cubs. They were in charge a couple of years ago, and it was very much like a Lucas football game, ground and pound and kind of wear out the clock at the end to get the win. So right now, Haverdale trying to calm things down as they set up the screenplay for Sparks, and reaching forward. He's going to be just short. 4th down on the way. Nice hit there by Will Garrison of River Valley to shut it down to ensure that he wasn't able to get the full extension, to get the sticks. So decision time, and I don't know if it's going to be much of a decision. Only got to pick up about half a yard here. The anticipation would be that you're going to go for it at the opponent's 41-yard line. And I see a couple of big bodies checking into the mix here. Trenton Mox certainly sticks out from Willard. Big left tackle. Big jumbo set in the backfield. And here comes the pressure. Haverstock looked initially like he was going to be brought down in the backfield, and he just snuck in behind those big bodies, and he was able to push his way through. That's the first down of the competition. And you see it right here on the Shakley Mechanical instant replay. Just enough for the Hillsdale Falcon QB to push the pile. So 1st and 10 now from the 39. Jake under center. Again, full house backfield, and he loses the football. Flag comes in. And the South squad says they have it. It appears that they do. Fumble recovered on the play by Braylon Boone of Ontario. The 6'2", 210-pounder getting his nose dirty inside like he did his entire career for the Warriors. And discussion of the officials. Actually, no flag on the play. It was one of those orange bean bags as they throw in to designate where a potential change of possession took place. So it is going to be South football. And I don't know how much you can really tell from the dog pile down there about what was going on, but you can definitely see the celebration and know that Boone flexing on him as he comes out with the football. So the 1st down amounts to nada. Breaking into enemy territory is the North. The South makes the play, and here's Shadone getting rocked in the backfield. 2 guys come in to hit him at the 30-yard line. No chance. First contact made by Mr. Owen Barker of Crestview. No surprise there. He'd been doing that his entire career, and certainly as a senior, got to take a second look at this one. I mean, can you give the guy a second? Both he and Truax come breaking in. Big-time sack right there. And what a tandem those two would have been if they would have been matched up with each other. Both from Ashland. A lot of potential. Now getting the chance here at the All-Star Football Game to join forces. As again, Parker getting in there. And how about that? It's Truax on the back end. So these last 2 plays, 23 and 24, that's the combination that's been making it happen. Barker is just such a menace. I mean, can you tell why this guy was the News Journal Defensive Player of the Year, the Northwest District Lineman of the Year? His numbers flat out off the charts. And oh, by the way, he's got a first-team All-Ohio plaque to his resume too. So the last 2 plays, perfect indicators of what Owen Barker was all about as a member of the Crestview Cougars. 3rd down and super long here for Shadone. Steps back, and he's forced to take off. Here comes Shadone. Get it to the outside. He's got the speed, the wiggle, and he is going to move the chains. That's how he can hurt you. Caden Shadone facing a 3rd and 19. Dude picks up 22, but hold the phone. Hanky on the field right around midfield. And the Zebras feel like there was a hold there at the 50. So wipe out a chunk of that run, and they will have to do 3rd down all over again, but a bit more manageable here for Caden and company. It was 19 yards to the sticks previously. Now they only need 11. So the ball at the 41-yard line. They'll break the huddle here with 4 wide receivers. And hello to everybody showing up now in the fan zone. Shadone again getting pressured, takes a hit, and it's going to be knocked down. Defended on the play there by Caden Cunningham of Crestview. Intended for Zach Frankfurt of Loudonville. So again, look at Barker. Are you serious? Double teamed on the play, has his own pancake, spins out of it, and creates the pressure on Caden. Easily the front runner right now for defensive MVP of the game. We've seen him up here before the contest too. He joined us, talked to him for a little bit. I mean, he's a big boy. Big boy, not even in the pad. So when you start throwing that armor on and you start thinking about the mentality change, it's like a human Hulk out there. Fair catch called for and made by Addison Raymer. So, I mean, there are Cougars all over the landscape here tonight in the Valley. And rightfully so. When you look at what head coach Steve Haverdale has done with Crestview, back-to-back 10-0 regular seasons, 3 consecutive Firelands Conference titles, great success in the playoffs as well, so they've definitely earned their stripes, and that's why there are plenty of Crestview players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here tonight. First down, direct snap. Sparks looking to cut it up inside, and 4 dudes in blue jerseys all help to cream them. Makai Bradley definitely getting in on the mix. The Mansfield News-Journal Player of the Year from a season ago. And I was talking about kind of like that brute strength and how Barker on the other side, he's kind of like a Hulk-like type of dude. Makai Bradley might even be a second level to that. That guy lives in the gym, according to his pops head coach over at Mansfield Senior, Chioke Bradley, just constantly working on his body. And that's why he's got a college scholarship and is going to be playing football at the next level, because he is a mutant to try to block out there. No running room this time. And it quickly becomes 3rd down, and about 3 yards is what's going to be needed. So the defense is right now kind of dictating things early on in this contest. Great penetration that time and just nowhere to run. So 3rd and 2, shotgun, and they'll hand it off right side. Trying to funnel his way back to the middle. Looked like Manny Mullins of Buckeye Central. And they're not going to have enough.
Back to the 35-yard line, 25-yard line.
So the defenses, again, ruling things out here. You think of an all-star game, and typically you're thinking there's going to be a lot of fireworks. So far, those have been blasted off by the opposing defenses. Yes, here's a punt by Barker. Yeah, he's a versatile threat. He does more than just disrupt your quarterback exchanges. Boots it away to Victor Skoog. Hometown boy here in the Valley. Beloved player here for the Colts, and when you lead your team to MOAC championships, you curry a little bit of favor in and around your hometown. That's what Skoog's been able to do. Clear Fork, too, very well represented. I believe they also have 6 players competing here tonight. Third possession now for the South. Shadone hands it off straight ahead. Couple yard pickup. Garrett George of Mount Gilead there on the carry.
Garrett George on the carry there for a gain of about 3.5. Bring up the second down.
3 wide this time. It's Owen High here to the near side of the Mount Gilead Indians. Shadone, a couple of fakes, forced out of the pocket yet again. How about the pressure? And he's going to be slammed down by you-know-who. The menace, Barker, getting in and taking a bite out of the QB yet again. Just look at him again. They put 2 guys over there. They're trying to shade and take them out of the equation, and 2 guys is not enough tonight to stop Owen Barker. Third down. Shadone from the gun. Airs it out here near side, and he's got a hookup. It's going to be Steinmetz with the catch. So Carson Steinmetz going to move the chains, and for the first time into enemy territory tonight goes the South All-Stars. Second look here on the Shakley Mechanical replay. Great throw on the money. And Steinmetz, who was a fantastic route runner his entire career for the Bulldogs, comes through with a nice pickup right there. Boy, did they need it. Leading receiver for the Dogs this past season. Shadone all day to throw. It's going to be over the head that time. Intended target, Matthew Bland. And it looked like if Bland just kept running here, he slowed down and tried to make a jumping attempt and effort. Had Cunningham on him. Might have been able to sprint right underneath that baby. Could have been kissing him goodbye off to pay dirt. Instead, 2nd and 10 coming up. George back in the backfield. And Shadone looking up the middle. Now scrambles here near side. Pressure. Barreling down on him. And he's going to be forced out of play. It's going to be Carson Sinninger of Willard.
Ball's marked out about the line of scrimmage, the 47-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down.
So 3rd and long. 10 yards going to be needed here for Shadone and company. Looking over in the sideline. Big play for both units. Here comes the South. Rolling the pocket. Shadone on the run. And that pass just a little bit behind the intended target, Carter Jones of Crestline. And when you come from a school as small as Crestline, you got to be a pretty versatile threat. Here's what Carter's listed as on the roster tonight. Wide receiver, tailback, running back, split end, defensive back, and linebacker. So he might have filled a few roles for the Bulldogs this past year. Punt unit in. In enemy territory, especially in an all-star game, I do kind of find these interesting call, so you got to be ready for a fake at any time. We're out here to have fun. You ask these athletes, and most of them would say they want to go out with a win to cap off their career, but at the same time, you're kind of looking for those highlights on ORH Report that you can go back and show your sweetheart or your mom or your kids in the future and just be like, hey, remember when I did this type of thing? But it actually is going to be a punt handled by Metzger. And so it's back into the hands of the North All-Stars with 3.5 minutes to go here in kind of a slower-paced opening quarter. And not really surprised. Both of these teams have such great defenders on the roster, especially disruptors at the defensive end positions, that it's been tough to try to find any room. So it's going to be up to both of these coaches to figure out, with the limited practice time that they had, what can we throw now at them. And here's a little wrinkle coming off the edge. How about Camden Wheeler? But just too much speed for the South All-Stars. Didn't have the wheels to catch the edge. But that's kind of a staple of Rob Mahaney and the Shelby Whippets football team, so there's a comfortability there. Just no wiggle room. So another 2nd and long on the menu here for the offense. North squad breaks the huddle. 2 wide receivers. Twins here to the near side. Pair of running backs as well. And they'll fake it. And we're going to get a sack. So the South All-Stars break it up in the backfield. Braylon Boone in on the action yet again. So look at Boone all the way. He blows by the play. Here comes Bradley to help funnel him back inside, and then Braylon with the speed able to recover and drop him down for a short loss. 3rd down. 11 needed here. North All-Stars likely going to have to go to the air as they come out 4 wide this time. And here comes Haverstock, pressured almost immediately. Breaks the pocket. We'll see if he takes off. He's not going to be able to. Haverstock knocked down in the backfield. Boone again in on the tackle along with a couple of his friends and some blue jerseys. Do have a hanky laying at the 15-yard line. You see Bradley getting in there. Boone wrapping him up, pulling him down. So back-to-back sacks for Braylon Boone, and I think that might even be a solo one after watching it a second time there on the replay. But it's going to get wiped out by the penalty. And it's going to go against the defense. So a second attempt here at 3rd down for Haverstock and this offensive unit, who have not done much. 1 first down so far. He's got Shea Sparks on his left hip. Trips here to the near side, and he'll just air it out and see if one of his wideouts can make a play. It's Wheeler. And, wow, how about the anticipation that time? Just absolutely nowhere to run. And it's Powie. Oh, coming up for Clear Fork to make a big pop. No yards on the play. Here comes the punt unit yet again. So Barker, a lot more active than he probably thought he was going to be here in the first quarter, at least in terms of being a punter. And heck, maybe even as a defensive end, he has been lights out so far. High spiraling punt. Skoog takes it and takes a little tumble there at the 48-yard line. And that's where the South All-Stars going to retake the field for their offense. Got about 40 seconds to play with here. Still nobody lighting up our Blackstone Insurance scoreboard up to this point. but set up with some prime field position here. And we've got a quarterback change. Cameron Lohr of Colonel Crawford now got the signal caller duties. Looked like not a great exchange, but he turns and hands off to Frederick Downs' Tegan Rule, who basically ruled and dominated the KMAC, especially this past season. 240 carries, 1,739 yards. Yeah, that's 7.2 yards per clip and 23 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, all of those statistics, he led the conference. So number 19, a great security blanket for Lohr. Final play here of the first quarter, and it's going to be Tegan breaking it to the outside, and he gets submarine knocked down, but they're into enemy territory down to the 43-yard line as we wrap up the first quarter. We'll be back. Plenty more All-Star action still to come.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Summertime back then looked a little different. But while summer may change, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips, and let's summer.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Back here in the fabulous Belleville, Ohio Valley. So scenic and not a lot to see, though, offensively for either team, as another punt. Gives the ball back to the North All-Stars as the South comes up empty on their offensive possession. I'm Brian Skoronsky here with you tonight for the 37th annual NCOFCA All-Star Football Game, now renamed the Blackstone NCOFCA All-Star Game. And no scoring yet, so looking to light up that Blackstone Insurance scoreboard at some point. But these defenses have been hungry. They have been getting after it, and it's been the defensive lines so far that have been really, really good. Linebackers have been filling in as well. Here's a throw to the outside, up for grabs and incomplete. So they try to go up top here. And Jake Hoverstock just off target. So 2nd and 10. Here comes Randy Banks into the mix for the North. And Actually, they're going to send him right back out of the game. Maybe just the message guy, tell him what the play is. Meanwhile, how about the slant and the catch by Willer? Camden's been busy here lately. The Shelby Whippet product. I believe that's his third catch here in this first half. And the sticks will move here for the North. Tackle on the play there by Aaron Thornton, a Mansfield senior. One of those stud track guys. Was able to make it down to state competition last weekend in Columbus. Haverstock calls his own number this time. And looked like a whole lot of blue jerseyed guys picking up the phone on the other end for that call. See a nice comfortable audience here tonight. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Beautiful day here in the Clear Fork Valley. Trips out wide to the right. Got Metzger here. One-on-one coverage to the near side. And Haverstock looked like he tried to go that way, but just never had any time. And this dude, Braylon Boone. Second sack. Had a third, but it got wiped out by a penalty. And can you blame the kid for flexing? Nobody can slow him down. So far, clearly, what's been writing this book and this narrative for this game has been the defensive fronts. You gotta love what you're seeing from these DNs and then the guys inside. Here's Boone again. Wow, blew right by his guy, but as intended by the offense, but it's lobbed. It's going to be incomplete. Tried to set up a screenplay that time for Manny Mullins, and he just wasn't able to corral it. I'm not so sure that he had any space to do anything with it otherwise. Saw Gabe Thu of Colonel Crawford coming in from his linebacker role, breaking things up. And it is quickly 4th down and long as Barker marches back out onto the field. Skoog on the other end. And Victor takes it right about at the 43-yard line. When are we going to see a Skoog sighting under center here for the South? Victor, of course, one of the more dynamic playmakers that we had in North Central Ohio this past year. Great runner, second-team all-district performer, 860 yards, but you love the 7.1 yards per attempt on the 121 carries and got in the end zone 14 times. So number 20, you imagine, maybe in the second half they'll turn over the rock to him and let him lead the offense where he's done so often here throughout his career. But for now, it's Cameron Lohr's opportunity. And he's got a single back set. Trips to his right. Looking over the middle. Steps up, and he's going to get planted. Kapow! Preston Smith getting in there. And the Hillsdale Falcon plants him for a 4-yard loss. Big boys running things here tonight. That was Caden Riddle who got beat that time. Riddle, another big monster, first-team All-Ohioan. Second and long, Lohr going deep. And it's on the opposite side of where his wide receiver started to cut. That was Owen High. Made his break inside of the defender. It was thrown over his left shoulder that time. So long distance needed yet again on a 3rd down. South All-Stars just haven't really had much continuity. Neither have the North, though, for that matter, on offense. Big, healthy serving of defensive prowess tonight. Moore back to pass, pocket collapsing, and that's knocked out of his hand. Barker got a piece of it, and here's Owen Barker with the scoop, and he's got the North in business, a one-man wrecking crew. Comes up with the forced fumble and the recovery. Come on. Leave some for the rest of us, Owen. How about that? That's NFL stuff there, reaching around, getting his hand on the ball, and then setting up his offense.
He knew something was going to happen, too. It's K-Mac down there. He's like,
Referees huddled up. Not sure what they're discussing here. I think they're maybe bringing up the question, did it get knocked out of Lore's hand by Barker? In real time, I thought it slipped out of Lore's hands, and then when I watched the replay, it did look like Barker, yeah. I mean, the dude's just a monster. John Wick-esque boogeyman. Can't be stopped. Going to the air, going deep. Almost some points on the board. That was Noah Finley. Got a couple paws on it. But the Madison wideout just couldn't squeeze it. Nice throw there by Jake, too. Gave him a chance in the end zone. Second look here on the Shakley Mechanical Inc. replay. Had Boone coming in, forced him to get rid of it, and wow. Perfectly tossed right over Mason Pipes, the defender of Clear Fork. So instead of 6 points, 2nd and 10 now from the 32. Single back is Garrett Kern. And Haverstock's going to roll behind him, gets a little piece of Boone, but not for long. So Haverstock picks up right around 2 and then paid the price. This is not like the NFL Pro Bowl, folks. These kids, they're out here to hit today. No flag football for them. Definitely looking to get a piece of the competitors here this evening. It's been fun to watch. Gotta love it. Crucial play here for the offense. Haverstock from the gun. And I think he got happy feet that time. He was looking to get out of the pocket almost immediately. So it's going to be another 4th down on the way here for the North. Probably a little too far for Devin Holloway, their kicker. So the offense staying on the field, at least for now. And we're going to get a timeout taken by the Crestview staff, Steve Haverdell. See what him and the guys can cook up here. And while they're drawing up a play, I'm going to dive inside of the fan zone. See, we got a few comments coming in. Riley McCoy says, fight hard in those trenches tonight, South. Lee, great to be watching football. I could not agree more. I've been keeping an eye on the mandatory training camp for the NFL teams, and I got the football fever now in early June, and the only cure, a little bit more football. Megan Renee says, go Camden of the North, number 11. Love Mom and Jamie. Carson says, Cadence, Flora, and I all say, KSA, Evan, and Levi, hashtag every day's a great day to be a Ram. Another hashtag for every day's a great day to be a Ram. And then Carson, for a 3rd time, cheering on Evan and Levi. That's a super fan out there. And then finally, we've got Paula, says, go Judah Reed, number 54 in the blue. He's coming out as the nose tackle here for this play. We'll see if the Mount Gilead big guy can create some havoc here on 4th down. Big stuff here. Haverstock rolls out. Boone coming down. It's going to be broken up. Powie Alt getting in there, getting upon it. Thought there might be a completion there for a 1st down, but the acceleration, the Jets, Powie coming through with a big play. Excellent stuff there by Alt. Camden Wheeler, who's been the favorite target so far tonight of Jake Haverstock. Definitely been the busiest wide receiver for either unit. And the ball back into the hands of the South All-Stars. Begin with it at their own 31-yard line. Rule the lone back. 2 wide each side here. And here's Caden Shadone scrambling. Makes a couple of guys miss. And then just has to dive forward. Some extracurricular activity. Barker getting mixed up there on the outside of things. I think he and Caden Riddle getting a little conference call there with one of the referees. I mean, those are just 2 big athletes that definitely they bring some fire and some fury to the game. Talking about the Northwest District Lineman of the Year in Riddle. And the Northwest District Lineman of the Year on the other side for Crestview. So you can't get much better than that matchup. Definitely looking forward to at some point getting some interviews down on the sideline with some of these athletes. I kind of like to hear from Barker about what's going on out there. He just got pulled out of the game. And we get Hayden Gray to go over and grab number 24 if he's not too busy at the moment. We'll see if he gets put back in.
2nd and 25.
And as we return to action, another 2nd and long. Boy, has that been a storyline here tonight. Shadone rolling left, gets rid of it right away. Reversing, coming all the way back near side, Matthew Bland. And he's going to get knocked down low. Minimal gain, a lot of running, but Addison Raymer, just too much speed. One of those track guys for the Crestview Cougars. I believe he was part of a relay team that won a D3 state championship. Have to confirm that if you're watching out there and you know. I believe Crestview did have like a 4x1 team, maybe a 4x4. Took the whole enchilada just last weekend. I know Hayden would know. Shadone steps up in the pocket, and it collapses. He's going to get collapsed. Preston Smith, the Falcon, coming in to drop him down. And there is just nobody open here today. Gets barreled off of Riley Parker initially. Then the sack there by Smith. So we've had way more sacks than first downs so far in this game. Unquestionably. Not even allowed to blitz. Special rules out here, so both of these opposing defenses, they're getting after the quarterback with just 4 down linemen. They're just beating their guys. I mean, it's a 5-on-4 every time. We're even seeing a lot of chip blocks from tight ends and running backs, and they still can't seem to win as a flag comes out, and I think we're going to get encroachment. So it's going to be 5-yard penalty here against the North. A little bit more room here for the South All-Stars. Just punt this thing away. And it's a nice clean kick here by A.J. Young of Lex, angling it towards the sideline and takes a couple hops and then lays the rest at the 47. So 53 yards of turf in between the end zone and the North All-Star offense. They've been in enemy territory a couple of times tonight, but have not been able to cash in any checks. That's right, we are scoreless. 0-0 here in the All-Star game. And almost 2 full quarters in the books. We got 4 minutes, 40-plus seconds to go. And on first down, they're going to run here near side. And that's one of the better plays that we've seen to start a drive, so a little bit of momentum with Cohan Keith of Winford running out for a few. Pick up a 6 there. 4 yards needed to get the chain gang on the move. And they've been doing a lot of standing around tonight. So I'm sure they would love some action. 3 wide to the near side. And they'll put it into the hands yet again of Keith. But that space all gets fried up right away. So it's going to be now second down. Make it third down and 11. And while this third down play is getting sent in, we'll go ahead and bring in Owen Barker, who has been an unbelievable menace out there so far tonight. You've been in on a couple of sacks. You knocked it out of the quarterback's hand and then came up with the fumble recovery. Tell me about that play and just the ability to kind of reach around the defender and make that whole thing happen on your own, man. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was my goal, was to reach around at least deter the pass a little bit, but I got it before his arm went forward, and honestly, I didn't even know he fumbled it until I looked up and everybody was telling me to go get it, so I just went and grabbed it.
And so for you in this game here tonight, did you have any individual accolades that you were looking to hit or accomplish? And if you did, have you already made those happen?
I mean, not really, no.
Being out here with, you can only rush 4. How are you guys getting so much pressure time and again?
No, I think speed. I think we're just beating them off the edge and inside, honestly, so. But, I mean, they're blitzing a little bit, so I think we've added a little bit of that to our playbook too. So there'll be quite a few more stunts, I hope, here in the second half.
All right, we'll definitely be keeping an eye, Owen. Great stuff so far, and looking forward to watching you perform over these last 2 quarters and a few more minutes here.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Going to the air, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to hook up with Raymer that time. And the speedster had a step, but they just couldn't find him. So a little bit more misery here for the offenses, and good thing that we got Barker off of the interview. He's got to trot right back out there. He's been a busy guy as far as being a punt artist here. And he was a first-team All-Ohioan, mostly because he had 12 sacks, 36 QB pressures, 30 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, and As mentioned, he was a Northwest District lineman and News Journal Defensive Player of the Year, but also this is kind of an underrated value to his game, that he can come out and he can get you pretty consistently about a 40-yard punt, pins the offense back here inside of the 20. So definitely making his efforts and his time out on the field known and very valuable.
First down for the South.
Imagine that's going to continue here with number 24 playing right defensive end. Riley Parker lined up opposite of him. And a timeout's going to be taken by Mike Reed and his coaching staff over there from Mount Gilead. With just under 3 minutes to go. First timeout burned up by the South All-Stars, who got a ton of offensive talent out there. It just hasn't been able to materialize just yet. Tried to keep it on the ground with guys like Lore. He's had minimal running room so far. Shadone had the one play where he broke out on a 3rd and 19, but there was a holding penalty at the end. Wiped out that first down. Matthew Bland, a guy that went for over 1,300 yards on the ground, 15 touchdowns, and then threw for over 1,008 scores. He's been kind of held in check so far here today. So after a little powwow there with the coaching staff, maybe the South is going to come out and hit them with something that they've seen. Is going to run in between the tackles. Pick up 2 here. And the time, of course, a factor. Yes, I believe that was Garrett George of MG who went bursting through for the pickup of a couple. Shadone now talking directly with the coaching staff, looking to get the play in. But they're starting to run out of time. Play clock rolling down to 10. And then they reset it for some reason back up to 24. So a bit of a break there for the offense, who almost look like they're trying to run out the clock. It's kind of got that feel to it. Shadone moving the pocket here, right side, and he's going to take off. Big hole this time for Caden. Makes a guy fall down to the turf. A little Andre there as Metzger at the deck. Nice run there by Caden Shadone. Biggest play, I believe, so far for the South. .90 seconds and rolling here with Shadone. Back to pass. Looking to scramble, goes left side, puts it up. Incomplete, too tall. Over the head of the intended target, Owen High. And it's going to be 2nd down, 10. Make sure that you stick around with us for the Carothers Pest Control halftime, which will include the conclusion, if you were watching earlier, of the kicking competition. We got 3 guys still remaining, trying to find out who's got the best leg in North Central Ohio. Powell's got a couple nice ones attached to his frame, and he scampers outside for a pickup of a few. And I believe that Coach Reed, I thought he was going to take a timeout. He's all the way out on the field, but I think that's just his delivery method now for the play calls. Doesn't want to do that game of telephone where he tells it to one of the kids coming in, and maybe there's been some confusion so far today, so just taking matters into his own hands. But it is taking a lot of time, as we're down under 45 seconds to go. Shadone looking to go to the air, puts it up, a bit underthrown. High, nearly made the adjustment, but that one's going to fall incomplete as well. So 4th down. And you imagine that the South All-Stars are going to punt this thing away with the ball on their own side of the turf. And still needing about 6 yards here for the 1st down. But the offense is still out there, so maybe this is a little lack of respect for the opposing North All-Star offense, or maybe they got something they thought they seen, but it doesn't work out. That's Matthew Bland, the intended target. He dove for it anyway, so there was no chance he was going to pick up the yards needed, and that's a big play there by the North to get the football back here. It's short time, but an opportunity to get some points on the board. 32 seconds remaining. They are out of timeouts. Burned them all up. But, of course, with the 1st down, that stops the clock, gives you an opportunity to reset your offense. So it's going to be Haverstock running the show here. And he'll have 4 wide receivers to choose from. Shea Sparks in the backfield, sets up to help block, and he needed him to. Here's Jake trying to get out of bounds, reaching for the boundary, and he is going to be called out right about at the 42. So quite a bit of time dwindled away there, about 10 seconds and only 2 yards gained. A lot of pressure again being created by that front 4. Really got to credit Boone's been fantastic so far tonight. Love what we've seen from him. Judah Reed, too, of Mount Gilead. It's been really tough to block one-on-one. 2nd down, trips up to the top of your screen. Coming back this way is Haverstock, lobs it up. Really dangerous play in the NFL. That's intentional grounding. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Instead, it's going to go down as incomplete. 3rd down and long on the way.
Gabe Dew on the tackle. Brings up 3rd down.
Can they get guys like Tatum Turcotte of Madison involved out on the perimeter? I don't think he's had a target yet. Raymer, of course, we've seen he's been able to get by his defender, locked up one-on-one right now with Jamarion Fagan. Haverstock looking left all the way, pump fake, and Boone knocked it out of his hands. Ball is loose. Braylon Boone again abusing the quarterback. Another look here on the Shakley Mechanical replay. Comes up with the sack and the forced fumble. Nearly a recovery there too. Chandler Stevens just couldn't squeeze it for Highland, and that is how the first half is going to end. I got to say, very fitting that we're heading into the break fresh off a defensive play like that where a defensive lineman just totally collapsed everything. Got in there, and Boone has been a huge part of what's been going on in terms of the terror that these quarterbacks have been feeling. The Carothers halftime show is coming up on the way. We'll break down what we saw in the first half. And again, we've got the conclusion of that kicking competition still to come. We've got 3 guys still involved. Malin Fickner, Landon Stein, and Adam Van Osdol. So come back with us. Plenty more All-Star football on the way.
Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Summertime back then looked a little different. But while summer may change, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips, and let's summer.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Welcome back to the Carothers Pest Control halftime show, where the Kickers are taking center stage now. If you had an opportunity to tune in a little bit earlier, we had the prelims, I guess you could say, of the kicking competition to get these guys to this point, and 3 were able to make it from 46 yards. So I think these are just warm-up kicks for our 3 contestants, who are Landon Stein of Monroeville, Malin Fickner of Highland, and the local boy, Adam Van Osdol from Clear Fork. So those 3 competitors, I believe, when they actually get the party started here, will start from 50 yards. They successfully made earlier from 25, 35, 43, 46. So just getting their little footsies warmed up here. But even if they make just 1, that's more offense than we saw in the entire first half so far between the North and South All-Stars, where defense definitely has been the name of the game. Mason Kidwell, KMAC Plus, who's been on the sideline for us here tonight. We were waiting for an opportunity to catch him for an interview with somebody from the KMAC conference who scored some points or did something great, and still waiting for that opportunity, but we both agree that it's been less bad offense, way more stellar defense. They have been winning a lot of battles, specifically the defensive linemen. So I think if the game keeps playing out the way that it is, you almost have to give away like multiple awards to the best defensive lineman in the game. Because like right now, who would you pick? Are you giving it to Braylon Boone, who I think's got 3 sacks and a forced fumble, or Owen Barker? He's got a couple, plus a forced fumble, plus a fumble recovery, and has been in the backfield over and over and over again. So if you're watching live and free with us right now, I'm kind of curious. Let's take a little halftime poll. Who do you think has been the best defensive lineman so far in the game? I think clearly the top two have been Braylon Boone on one side for the South All-Stars, and then for the North, Owen Barker. Both definitely destructive forces that have not been able to be stopped, but maybe you guys are seeing something else out there, and there could be a third or even a fourth guy in the mix. Checking in with you guys right now on the Facebook feed. See, we got MC Kelly just says, go! And Mays, North Carolina is watching number 68 in red, who is Peyton Barnhart. Go, Peyton. John Barnhart also cheering on, of course, number 68 in red. Caleb Kraus, let's go, Sparks and Porter. And then Paula McCoy cheered on Judah Reed, number 54 in blue. So I'm not sure what they're doing here, because all these kids already, they made it from 46 yards earlier today. This is a 45-yarder. Definitely no slouch of a kick, but not even as good as what we've already seen. So I think this is the actual competition, though. For whatever reason, as we all have come to be familiar with, kickers just don't quite get the respect they deserve, and there just hasn't been a whole lot in terms of like instructions, it seems, about exactly how this contest was going to shake out. So we're all just kind of finding out together here. But I can tell you who these young kids are. This is Malin Fickner here of Highland. So this is a 45-yard attempt. Again, earlier made from 46, but I think that they're just starting this competition here. So this is the big show, and it's different here when you got the full audience. Earlier they were kicking basically just in front of me and the PA announcer, as that one is going to come up short, so that's no good. So they're now going to have Landon Stein of Monroeville tee it up. And he's going to try from 50.
Landon Stein is the final man kicker. Looks like he's going to make the attempt from the 40-yard line.
And also Sean Putt of Mansfield Senior's out on the field. He didn't participate in the prelims. Maybe he's going to get an opportunity here at halftime to showcase some of his kicking skills, and may be arguably the best that we had in North Central Ohio this past year. Did have a game where he basically single-handedly led the TY Tigers to a victory. Perfect 5 for 5 kicking field goals. And how many high school varsity games have you ever been to where they even give a kicker 5 attempts, let alone a dude who's going to make them all? So very impressive. This dude also has been very good, but that not very close from 50. Needed a whole lot more leg behind it. But Landon Stein is the winner. He successfully made earlier from 45. Just 50, a bit too much. So congratulations to the Monroeville Eagle for coming out here, putting on a show. And he is your winner. The defending champ, Caleb Chenier, not participating this year from Northmore. But you guys can all participate, so drop me some comments. We're going to take a quick commercial timeout, and we'll be back. We'll break down what we saw in the opening half, and if we got some kids back out on the field, try to get some interviews from some of those athletes as well. So it's live, it's free, and it's only right here on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results. more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Summertime back then looked a little different. But while summer may change, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips, and let's summer.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Welcome back to the beautiful Clear Fork Corral for the All-Star Football Game tonight. The Blackstone NCOFCA All-Star Football Game. I am Brian Skoronsky, and this is the Carothers Pest Control halftime report. You just saw the kicking competition conclude with Landon Stein of Monroeville drilling a 45-yarder for the victory. So congratulations to him. And we saw that he just kind of walked right out into the forest after he won. So he took his prize and he was out the door and enjoying some of Mother Nature. As are a lot of our fans out here tonight, enjoying some fantastic weather, tough to beat. And so are our very generous sponsors as well, who combine to help bring you guys live and free coverage that you can truly only find here on the OH Report. This is the only ticket in town if you're trying to watch the game, if you're trying to listen to the game. We are the only media bringing it to you, and we're able to do so thanks to Blackstone Insurance Agency. We have the knowledge and flexibility to provide you appropriate coverage at an affordable price, personalized as well. Carothers Pest Control. Got a pest? Call the best, 419-314-3214. Shakley Mechanical. It's that time of year, folks. Schedule your furnace inspection and maintenance with Shakley Mechanical today. Do not wait. Knox Community Hospital, where they're in the community for the community. MWD Logistics. Do you need a warehousing and logistics partner that gets you the storage needs that you clearly need? Well, store and move your inventory seamlessly with MWD Logistics. Frito Lay, who's always driven and inspired by our purpose, food that matters for life's moments. And also by Shrivers Pharmacy, our MVP sponsor tonight. So the players of the game will be presented by Shrivers Pharmacy. Big thank you to them. Looks like we've got the teams heading back out onto the field now. Got a North All-Star siding as well as a South. They're actually kind of coming out like as a unit here. And no score, folks. It's been a really unique first half of football. For an All-Star game anyways. Hard hitting. Great defensive efforts on both sides. Certainly see that the defensive lines have been the shining stars of tonight's game on both ends. But also, you got to credit the defensive backs too for allowing these defensive players up in the trenches to be able to break through and make some big plays, because nobody really has been open. You're watching some of these instant replays, and you're thinking, wow, these are great plays being made by the defensive linemen. They are, but that's because there just ain't nobody downfield that they can throw it to. So defense has been the name of the game, and it's going to be interesting to see if that trend continues here in the second half, or if either of these offenses are able to start putting something together, get some continuity, come out and get some points. So we're going to take one last commercial timeout. We will be back. Second half action on the way from the Valley.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Third quarter action on the way here from the Clear Fork Corral in the Bellevue Valley. Bellevue, how dare I insult them down there. Beautiful night here as well on the turf. And looking forward to the second half to see how things start to shake out here after a very defensive-minded first half for both of these teams. No points yet have gone up on the board, and combined, I think we've only got 6 total first downs in the game. So, do we get a repeat performance from the first half, or do these offenses start to settle in a little bit, and do we get some big plays, some fireworks offensively? That's what we are about to find out. I'm Brian Skrotsky, been with you all the way so far up to this point, and guess what? I'm having so much fun. I'm going to stick with you throughout the second half and the post game as well, as it'll be the North football to start things off. The South trotting out their kicking team to boot it away here, as we've got back deep here. Looks like Addison Raymer, and to kick it away, Sean Putt of Mansfield Sr. for the South. Make sure to keep lighting up our fan zone. Love hearing from you guys out there, and tell us where you're watching from and who you are cheering for here tonight. All of your favorite individual players. As that one is taken by Grayson Haydinger, and there are no kick returns in the All-Star game, so the offense will just start with it from the 25-yard line. And that's where Jake Haverstock and the offense will start off their first drive here of half number 2. Shea Sparks alone back to the right hip here of Jake. And he's going to roll that way. It's a run play all the way for Haverstock. Takes a big pop. Makai Bradley coming up, delivering the blow from his linebacker spot. Makai, the News Journal Co-Defensive Player of the Year, first team All-Ohio, and had 113 tackles as a senior. 22 of those came for loss, including 9.5 sacks. So it goes down as a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Bit of confusion coming out of the break here. Split backs to each side here of Haverstock, and he hands it off. Fighting forward, Shea Sparks, and not a ton of room there, as he's going to be marked dead after a pickup of 1. And we've got a game breaker down on the sideline with our own Hayden Gray, he's got Jonathan Metzger. What's going on, guys?
Shake on the carry.
Down here with Ashland's John Metzger. John, what's it like to be able to come down here tonight and get to, square off with a couple of guys that you've played with on the field before and guys that you haven't ever?
Yeah, it's a great experience just from reading about all these guys in the paper, seeing all their highlights and stuff. Most of these schools besides Mansfield Senior we never see ever. So it's really cool just getting to experience being on the same field as all these guys who live within an hour of us. So, yeah, it's awesome.
And then 0-0 ball game. What do you got to get? What has to be done to get a score on the board?
Someone's got to make a play eventually. It's tough when you've had a total of about 6 hours to put together an offense where kids come from all different backgrounds, running all different things. So defense, you just go out there and hit somebody, but offense is someone's got to step up and make a big play eventually.
All right, thanks, John.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate the time there with Jonathan. See, immediately trotting into the game that they need him big time as almost the biggest player of the game went down there. You saw the two Hillsdale teammates nearly connect for a big game. Jax Rogers was on the back side of that as Barker sends a twirling punt. It's going to take a couple of hops in favor of the North All-Stars all the way inside of the 20 as Sparks tried to help it there. Inch its way forward just even a little bit more as it is a 3-and-out on the opening possession. And the South All-Stars with a chance now with their first possession here of the second half. See who starts at quarterback here in quarter number 3. Got a lot of options over on the South roster. And it looks like they're going to continue to roll with Caden Shadone. Hard to argue against that. Huge season during his senior campaign, almost 3,300 yards, 33 touchdowns. As Barker comes in to make that stop. Tegan Roll with a pickup of 1. So second down, 9 yards is what they're facing here.
Second down and 9 for the South.
Shadone from the gun. Quick sets, fires, and it's going to skip in and out of the hands for the intended target, Matthew Bland, bringing up yet another third down and long as we now welcome in the event coordinator now. We've got Aaron Eckert with us, the head coach for the Ontario Warriors, and it's 0-0, Coach. This is an all-star game. What's gotten into both of these defenses? This has been impressive.
Yeah, they're really playing out tonight, and it's been tough sledding for the offenses here tonight. Can't get anything going right now, but we're hopeful to, as the game goes on, these guys get a little more comfortable and start to see some fireworks at some point.
Yeah, you're always hoping for some points, of course, in the game, but it definitely hats tipped to these defenses. We'll see if they can pin their ears back here on the third down, as it's a little bit of trickery. They pitch it to Matthew Bland, head of steam, but he gets dropped down after he gets out to the 27-yard line. So, again, it's going to be a punting situation and back-to-back 3-and-outs here to open up this second half. Great crowd on hand, though. Fabulous weather so far, Aaron, and the kicking competition pretty fun, too. So, overall, give me a feel for what your expectations were for the event and how things have kind of worked themselves out so far.
I don't think you can ask for a better night tonight down here in the Valley. It's, beautiful scenery, great crowd here tonight. It's probably one of the better crowds we've had in a while. Great weather. So, we're really happy with the way the game's gone, and I think kudos to Blackstone Insurance for all the behind-the-scenes work that they've done, and and kind of getting the word out and letting these all-stars from the area come out and compete one last time.
Speaking of all-stars, you've got one out here who really has been terrorizing people. He's about to step on the field, number 55, Braylon Boone. How much are you going to miss a destructive force like this dude? I've got him down for 3 sacks and a forced fumble so far tonight.
He's a man. He's one of those guys he's a physically imposing kid, 6'2", 220 pounds, shredded. Just looks the part, and tonight you kind of see why. He's a all-Ohio kid at Ontario.
Yeah, definitely going to be hard to replace, but the work already starting right for football season. It never really ends, it seems.
Yeah, no, football's kind of that all year round sport, and it's going for us, and we're missing the baseball guys right now, but wish them nothing but the best as they go for the state title tomorrow against Kenston up in Akron.
What a cool story that team is. They head into the tournament. I think they were 4 games below 500, 3 or 4, something like that, and they always knew they had the talent, and today able to get a gutsy 2-1 victory over a state-ranked team, and they've knocked off a couple of them here on their way. So the whole atmosphere out there in Ontario right now, I mean, they got to be Warrior baseball crazy.
Oh, yeah. Today's crowd was great up at the Rubber Duck Stadium in Akron. Just great to be up there and be part of that crowd and watch the boys battle and, pull out a 2-1 victory against, I think, the number 2 team in the state. They had a kid come in and throw a 92 today. You don't see that often in high school baseball, but we're able to put the ball in play and make something happen. So, kudos to those guys for doing that. And, you just got to be the best team on that day.
And a quick plug, we are going to have a broadcast of their state championship game tomorrow. It has to be on a delay per OHSA rules, but I believe we're going to be able to air it at about 8 p.m. tomorrow night. So definitely looking forward to being out there at Akron. And if you cannot make the trip, we will have the entire game, a 4-camera broadcast for you guys tomorrow night. So that's going to be a whole bunch of fun, and I'm thinking that we're probably going to bring home a big trophy for that case for you guys at Ontario.
No, that'd be great. It's those boys, a lot of those guys play football. I get to personally coach those in the other sport, but it's been great to see them, have success towards the end of the year like this.
Yeah, and when you talk about success here tonight, these defensive fronts killing it, the linebackers coming up, filling holes. There has been nothing for both offenses. I think 2 years ago there was kind of a defensive battle, but nothing like this. All the years I've been covering this game, which is about 13 or 14 now, I don't remember one quite like this one, Aaron.
No, this one's been, a little more of a defensive struggle than we've seen in years past. There's been a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of, defensive celebrations, as you would say, tonight. So, again, we're hoping to, someone will pop something, hopefully, at some point and get an ooh and an ah out of the crowd. But, defense wins championships.
Hey,
so
can't argue with that. On 3rd down, whistle blows before the play gets a chance to initiate. Flags out on the field. Both sides pointing at each other, as is customary.
It's always the other guy's fault. It's always the other guy's fault.
Of course it is. It's just who got caught.
Yeah, it's great watching film when you watch this stuff and you see them point at each other, and then on film you see, hey, that was actually your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But in real time, you just almost always feel like it's just unfair.
Absolutely.
Until you get to go back and see the video evidence. So it actually is going to go against the offense. So we got a deep hole now. 3rd down and 20 for the North All-Stars. And they've got some game breakers over there, just have not been able to get them into the hands of their kids, their threats out on the perimeter. See if they can now with Haverstock dumping it off, and just nothing there. Jax Rogers kind of blowed up, and they read that all the way.
Yeah, not much there. Forgot to block the linebackers on a screenplay.
Take a second look on our Shakley Mechanical replay, and you're absolutely right. I mean, no hat on a hat out there at the second level anywhere.
No, we call that a missed assignment.
A couple of them that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see how this punt spirals in the air here under the beautiful Clear Fork Valley sunrise or sunset. Oh,
probably the best one that Owen Barker's had today.
Yeah. Nice and high.
As Skoog takes it at the 43-yard line. And I just got a feeling here, Aaron, we've had 2 3-and-outs here to start this second half. We're getting a first down here. Chain Gang's looking a little bored. They're trying to get something going, and it's up to the South to make it happen.
Let's make a bold prediction. I'm going to predict we get 1 first down here at least. 1 first down.
It makes our job a little bit more fun. I mean, I'm a sucker for defense. My guy Effie James, this would have been his favorite to be out for this game. So too bad that he just got back from a cruise and he's a little jet lagged. He said too much partying for Effie over the last week. And here's Bland to the outside. Cunningham can't trim him down, but a couple guys come in to fill on the perimeter. That's kind of been the story.
Yeah, nice play by the defense there to come up from the linebacker spot and make a play on the edge here. Actually, that was the corner on that side, number 16.
Both offensive coordinators have tried to be creative tonight, too. It's just one of those things where no matter what recipe you make, the people that you're serving it to, they're not liking it. They just keep sending it back.
Yeah, and that's one of the hard parts about an football all-star game in general is that these kids practice for 4 days.
That's
they
right.
come from a ton of different systems, and you're trying to create a language that they got to remember in 4 days. It becomes challenging.
Oh, nearly an intercepted pass that probably would have been off to the races there for Ethan Truax of Ashland. He can't believe it.
Oh, that's one where your eyes get a little too big before you secure it. He sees 6 in front of him. He's going to break the game open, and all of a sudden it just bounces off the hands there.
And I know during the regular season, Truax had a 97-yard pick six, so he's no stranger to taking those things back to the crib. D2 All-Ohioan just saw his eyes just got really big. Probably the end zone looked like it was wide open for the taking. So 3rd down. Event coordinator promised me a first down here at some point, so we'll see if we get it here.
Yeah, it's not looking great here, but we've got an opening. Oh, and we overshot him there.
That was Cameron Lohr, the trigger man, and well over the top there. Too much for Carter Jones. Defensively back in coverage, too. See Addison Raymer, probably the fastest guy in the field, if not one of.
Well, I don't know. I saw the Stupka kid down here in the end zone, so I don't know if he's technically on the field, but he's on the field.
Boy, that kid can fly,
Ooh,
can't
man.
he? My goodness.
Placed in 3 events in the state sprints. Man, he can fly.
Very exciting athlete down here in the Valley. I'm not sure. Does Joe play football?
He does.
So yeah.
We will see him this year down here in Clear Fork.
Lucky assignment right there, Aaron. So here's Victor Skoog, or excuse me, that's another Clear Fork kid. No, that's actually AJ Young. Just got on a Clear Fork sticker on his helmet, throwing me off. Well, it looks like from looking up and down the rosters, sometimes at these games we'll have lots of scratches. There'll be some late fill-ins. This year, just a couple on both sides. So the players that were selected, for the most part, were able to be here. And I think that's so great for them that if you're nominated to be an all-star, that you have the ability and the time to show up and do it. And it looks like a lot of these guys could.
Yeah, and it's a commitment from the kids, and it's a process that starts back in January. We get nominations from coaches, and then we allow the individual coaches that are coaching the team to pick their teams, and we kind of have some guys as subs if they're not able to play or something pops up. Some kids join the Army late, and so they leave for basic. Others get surprise graduation vacations, and so it's always a kind of a work in progress to make sure we get that roster going the right way and have enough people to play the game.
We've got 4 drives, no first downs yet. Almost the biggest play of the game. That was Metzger, the game breaker for Ashland.
He was open. Had to buy a couple steps.
Almost able to break away.
Here it comes back on the replay here. Just overshoots him. Would have been 6.
Metzger this last year set an Ashland Arrows record. 1,312 yards on 67 grabs. 13 tutties as well to be a D2 All-Ohioan.
This is my first time getting to see him live. He moves well. We kind of hear about that from the area, but we don't play Ashland per se. So that's kind of cool, too. You hear a lot of these names in the area, but we don't play a lot of these schools. So to get to see some of these guys play is an awesome thing.
Here's one of them as well. Jake Haverstock going airborne. leaping his way for a couple extra yards and making it 3rd down and manageable.
One of my prediction, I meant this next series for both teams. They each get a shot to try to, so someone was going to get a first down. It's still hopeful. It's still hopeful.
They still got to pick it up here. 4 yards, the best shot that we've had so far in the second half. A lot of 3rd and longs, and I think that's obviously dictated the way that these defensive ends have been able to come off the football.
Yeah, you just watched Braylon Boone shift down here to the field. He got stymied there.
And they hand it to the up back, able to churn out a couple as he gets submarine, but it's still going to be 4th down and 2.
Man.
And decision time now for the North All-Star coaching staff.
It looks like they're contemplating it. I think they're going to go for it here.
From their own 37, yards have been so hard to come by, but maybe this is the type of play that can spark you, get a little extra energy.
Sure, anytime you're stagnant, you can get a first down. You know, it can speed you up and give you a little life.
They're going to come out with that heavy set. 3 backs in the backfield. A motion Turcotte to the right side, and a lot of guys jumping in the blue jerseys.
As the crowd cheers for the first down.
Oh, yeah. A bit of a sarcastic cheer, it felt like, right?
First down it was, though.
At the 2:38 mark, we've got our first down in the second half. Only took us 5 drives and a defensive penalty to make it happen, but hey, we are moving. Now they're going to spread things out a little bit. Bring 2 receivers to the near side.
That's a penalty. Didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Referee recognized that right away as Wheeler gets upended here. Knocked down by Mason Pipes of Clear Fork, but all for naught, as this is going to be a 5-yard penalty. Back up the north. So just when you feel like you're getting a little momentum.
Yeah, that's a drive killer most times. You lose that. You get a little bit and you take some away, and now you're 1st and 15. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys start taking shots. They start lining up single receivers on one side and just throwing the ball up to people.
I'm thinking our audience is probably taking shots about now, too, to try to, work up a little bit of energy and momentum here. 2:06 to go. First down and 15 here. Come out with a trips look near side. And they're going to uncork it to the sideline. And a great grab over the shoulder adjustment by Camden Wheeler. Haverstock on the money. Took out the bench. Easily the highlight of the night so far. Break this down for us, Aaron.
You see a corner route coming from the receiver. Really nice stem job. Quarterback puts the ball right where no one else could get it but his guy. Good toe tap there on the sideline and took the bench out in the process.
So a pair of first downs and this drive on the move. Shea Sparks got to step to the corner. Stutter step.
See a little life here. Getting the edge there. Got a good gain on first down for 3 or 4 yards. I expect you to start seeing stuff like that where they'll put receivers to one side of the field and come back to the field with the fast back. I think that was Sparks there.
Second down, 7 to go for the North.
So the Plymouth Big Red back picks up a few here. Second down and 7.
I expect something similar. Receivers to the boundary or the short side of the field. You've got nobody down here to the field.
And they do come back near side. Sparks cutting it back into the teeth of the defense. He gathers a couple more, so it'll be 3rd down and manageable.
Sparks on the carry again.
As we're getting closer to money time here. 4th quarter just 40 seconds away. on just a gorgeous night here in the Clear Fork Valley.
I wonder if Coach Haverdale's wondering if this is 4-down territory here. You're on that half of the 50. They haven't moved the ball well either. Do you give yourself 2 downs to get 6 yards that you need?
See if they even need a 4th down conversion as they go to the sky.
They missed him.
Well
they missed
overthrown.
him. You know, that's that play, where chemistry, I think, in high school really is important. They've got an uncovered guy. No one's guarding him. All they need to do is just wave his hand, get his attention, throw it out to him pretty quick and let him go. But it looks like we got a penalty for something after the play here.
So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct against Camden Wheeler, who was the intended target, and that changes everything, of course.
That kind of takes some momentum out of that. They had a nice drive going. Now it's 4th down. Now you're backed up. Now I don't know that you go for this one. I think you got to punt this away and try to pin him deep here.
Yeah, it's 4th down and a quarter mile now. Here comes the punt unit, who've been busy so far here tonight.
21 to go.
What's the format for overtime if we end up in a draw here? Little Rochambeau at midfield?
Yeah, that's going to be something that we were going to have to go back and look at. We haven't had an overtime game. Not that I can remember as long as I have been the president of this association. So I'm going to have to go back and actually look at that here in the fourth
Need to go brush up on your rule book here? We'll cut you loose at the start of the 4th.
Yeah, just not something that happens very often in these games. So, but I will let you know.
Hanging out with Aaron Eckert, the El Presidente here of the All-Star festivities tonight. And just one play likely remaining here in the 3rd quarter. But 2 first downs on that last drive for the North.
Yeah, things are improving. Sometimes just looking for improvement there. Get a little giddy up there.
Cooking with gas. We'll see if it translates over to the South squad, who goes straight ahead with Garrett George there for the final play of the 3rd. Aaron, do appreciate you stopping by here in the booth. And yeah, if it does look like overtime is impending, come let us know what's going on.
All right, sounds good. Cool. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back 0-0 as we head to the 4th.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
It is money time here in the Clear Fork Valley, though nobody's cashed a check just yet. Who's going to come ripping and running here in the 4th quarter to get themselves onto the scoreboard and get a victory? I'm Brian Skoronsky, and this is the Blackstone NCOFCA All-Star Football event. And we were just talking to the president, Aaron Eckert, about this full event in 37 years in the making and maybe never in overtime. So we'll see. For now, still got 12 minutes of action remaining in between a potential OT and a victor. So much still able to be played out here on the field. Oh, including a near pick six there for Addison Raymer. And, man, that's twice now that we've seen guys that just cannot believe that they didn't make the play. We saw Truax on the previous possession. This time, Raymer, look at this one. Oh, goodness. I mean, he could have skipped backwards into the end zone. Instead, it's incomplete in the 3rd down and 8. The North trying to find a little bit of that magic that they had on their previous drive. And they'll find it here defensively. As North does come up with the stop. And for the South All-Stars, 3 consecutive 3-and-outs here in the second half.
First down for the South.
Just really finding life hard. Try to get anything operating. And as I mentioned, clear back, I think in the first quarter, still no Victor Skoog under center, and he's had some magical comebacks here in the Colt Corral, so perhaps saving him for some late game magic. As this a rough looking punt from the right foot of A.J. Young does take a fortuitous bounce and caught some nice roll. Because I think that thing only got launched about 10 yards off his foot.
9-yard line.
And then did lay to rest, at least in enemy territory. So that's where the North is going to take over. Had their last drive kind of fizzle out after a bad pass. And then I think maybe some choice words said by Camden Wheeler that resulted in a 15-yard penalty and backed them up for a long 4th down, so they had to punt it away. But fabulous field position here for Coach Haverdale's bunch. And here they go on 1st down, trying to break the pocket to the outside, spinning his way off of a would-be tackler is Haverstock. Still turning the legs, but not much there as he is going to go down, and we're now going to send it down to the sideline. We got a special TY Tiger hanging out with our own Hayden Gray. Go ahead, guys.
Bring up 2nd down for the North.
Go ahead. All right, I've got Sean put down here. Sean, I mean, it's still a 0-0 game here in the 4th quarter. Being able to take in the game as closely as you have, what's been happening? Why is it still scoreless?
Honestly, I don't have an idea. I don't really know about what's going on. I just come, I kick. If they get a field goal, then I'm out there. You know, I've been trying to enjoy the time with my teammates on the sideline while I'm watching the game. That's about it, really. I mean, even if I don't kick, it's still a great experience.
Absolutely. So North team's driving right now. Looks like 3rd down, though. So as time continues to tick down, you know, could we see this come down to a field goal? I mean, if there's any guy out here for the job, it'd be you.
Yeah, it's easily. In the past 4 years, I've never hit a walk-off field goal, but first time to do it, be a great All-Star game, you know. So.
All right. Thanks, Sean. And, hey, if it comes down to it, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Brian.
It's every kicker's dream to just be put in a situation where everything's on your shoulders, and you got to respect the Sean punt. Just wants that opportunity, as that's a great play fake. They're going deep, and we finally have a big play here. Addison Raymer setting up his offense inside of the 10. Our first red zone alert of the night.
We'll bring up 1st and 10 with a 1st and goal for the North.
This is just Jake Haverstock with a awesome play fake. Got Fagan to kind of bite just a little bit, the Lexington cornerback. And then Raymer, definitely one of the fastest dudes on the field, able to break away deep for a big gainer. So 1st down and goal now from the 8. North All-Stars looking to break this scoreless tie, but they'll have to wait a little bit longer. Steve Haverdell taking a TO.
Timeout taken by the North.
So the North All-Stars discussing their potential first down and goal play. And while they're doing that, I'll dive back into the Facebook feed. Let's see what's going on with you guys out there. Reload. Enhance. I'll have to check back with you guys later. Here we go. Guaranteed the first team to score will win the game. Carl, I think I'm with you, buddy. And we have seen some of that old school wishbone. Man, Carl was on a roll. And not wearing a traditional number 49. An O-lineman, I think he's saying. And 10 more weeks for another season of Friday Night Lights. Can you believe that? 10 weeks from today, they kick off the season. I thought we were about to get a break. It only lasts oh so long. Speaking of break, how about that break up down on the goal line? Looked like Mekhi Bradley was able to snake in there, get a piece of it. That's right. Incomplete is the sign from Mason Pipes.
Just shy of the red zone. We'll bring up second down.
Showing his homegrown town here that he was part of the play. Haverstock on the second and goal is going to come out. 3 wide to the left now as they bring a man in motion. It's Evan Hill. And looking that way. Comes back the other side. Jake going to take off from the pocket. Jake Haverstock into the end zone. Touchdown. North All-Stars lighting up the board. And getting gritty with it.
With 8 minutes and 34 seconds left to go.
So at the 8:34 mark, finally, we've got some All-Star points. And it's Jake Haverstock making it happen. Rolling to his left, coming back the right way. 8-yard scamper for 6. And I think it's been so long. No points. Kind of forgot who the personnel was, actually, for the PAT. But they do got everybody on, but the kick is blocked. And guess who? Braylon Boone, and that is his specialty. This dude, you want to hear a stat? How about 6 blocked kicks during the senior season for Braylon Boone? Coming up with one right there. And makes things very interesting. Just a 6-0 game as Holloway not able to get it up and over the outstretched arm of Braylon, and definitely got to have one more look here on the Shakley Mechanical replay, diving into the zone. Excellent camera work by our own Hayden Gray. .834 to go. Can the South squad come up with some type of an answer? It has been a whole bunch of misery here in the second half for them offensively. 3 possessions, no first downs as of yet. And I believe they only had 2 times in that first half where they moved the sticks. Credit the defenses. And now, put a little pressure on the O. That's what the North All-Stars have just done with that last drive. Haverstock going airborne into the end zone to break this scoreless tie. Holloway getting it teed up. Devin had an exceptional senior season for the Cougars this past year. honorable mention All-Ohio in Division 6. And he'll boot it deep into the arms there of Matthew Bland. Huge drive on the way here, of course, for the South All-Stars, as they would love to bare minimum match what they just saw from their North counterparts. And, of course, with the missed PAT looming large, could potentially overtake them for the lead. And they're going to come out with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right of Caden Shadone, who's got an outside give here for not a whole lot of yardage. See Levi Allen and company in on the stop there for the dudes sporting the red jerseys. Pickup of 3, 2nd down, 7 on the way. Rules in the backfield. Flank to the right hip of Caden. And here comes Tegan Rule. Fighting for extra yardage, real close to where he needed to be to move the chains. All depend on the spot over there on the far side. And it looks like he's going to be just a bit short here. Well,
Tegan Rule on the carry there.
I stand corrected.
22-yard line.
He will pick up the 1st down out to the 22. And a little bit of a no-huddle offensive look now. Shadone back to pass, quick out, Matthew Bland. And just a great job there by the North to come up and stop him in his tracks. It's happened pretty routinely tonight. Guys like Haydinger flying up to the football and just not allowing any yak.
We're going to have 2nd down, 9 to go.
I see Carl Gray says we finally got some scoring. Yeah, buddy. About time, right? I think collectively everybody here in the stadium was feeling the same way. Defense is fun, but offense kind of brightens the day a little bit more. Shadone looking for some right here. Wide open is Matthew Bland, cutting back against the grain. Gets a block from Zach Frankfurt, and he's off to the races. 77-yard house call. As all of a sudden, these offenses finding more than just a pulse.
77-yard touchdown pass.
What a throw by Caden Shadone. Definitely a busted coverage. Cunningham way outside of the play. And Matthew Bland from K-Mac country, cutting back against the grain with his coaching staff looking on with big smiles. This for the lead, and we heard from Sean Putt a little while ago. He said he wanted an opportunity for a game winner. This is at least the go-ahead kick, and it's pure.
The point after is good by Sean Putt.
So the South All-Stars,
It gives the Blue a score of 7.
with the biggest play by far of the contest, that one by itself accounted for basically twice as many yards as they had accumulated for the entire game up to that point. All in one snap of the football, and that is the beauty of this sport, is that one busted coverage, one mental lapse, a missed assignment, it can cost you so dearly or benefit you ever so greatly. But still plenty of time remaining, and who knows, maybe we're just getting heated up. Maybe it was kind of a pre-temp oven there for the first 3 quarters, and we finally hit our perfect cooking temperature for high school football on a Friday night here in June. And it's time for the offenses to start baking. North coming off of a touchdown drive, capped off by an 8-yard score from Haverstock, but matched by the South, who came up with their first down of the second half and then had that ginormous play. And now we got to hear from the guy who just made the big score. Let's throw it down to Hayden, standing by with Matthew Bland.
All right, down here with the man of the last minute, Matt Bland, over here for the South team, who now takes the lead. Tell me how you got that open space there on that last route to really cover up the defense.
Yeah, we've been running that play all game. It was just about timing, getting the defense tired. That corner right there, they've been switching it, and it was all about them switching, and they got confused, communicated was lost, and that went past them. Caden saw me, and we got it.
And then finally, I was just talking to Sean a little bit before this about having a chance to go in and win the game. Now, you guys got to get it done on the defensive side, but that extra point right there could be the difference maker. What does the defense have to do to try and shut down the North offense, as you have been all day?
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm not worried one bit about our defense. Our defense has been doing it all day, hard and strong. I love it, and we're excited about this one.
All right, thanks, Matt. All right, back to you, Brian.
Appreciate the time from Mr. Bland, who was anything but on that last drive. And after the QB keeper there running into old 55, the double nickel has been basically a perfect 10 tonight. Been awesome to watch Mr. Boone out there along with this defensive front. These core guys so far on both ends. I mean, gosh, I've been gushing all night about them, but it's hard not to when you just see the production. Ricky Mills in the middle. Kind of been one of the unsung heroes up there along with Caden Riddle. And there is Ricky applying some pressure and forces an underthrown football that time. Metzger would have been on the other end. Instead, falls flat and brings up a 3rd down and long here for the North. And we've had back-to-back touchdowns here. We'll see if the momentum swings back in favor of the defenses. Right at the halfway mark here of 4th quarter action. As Haverstock rolls left and just doesn't have anybody out there. It actually looked like a design run. Intended targets downfield, like Randy Banks were trying to put themselves in a position where they could set up some blocks.
We'll bring up 4th down for the North.
So here comes Owen Barker out to punt for, gosh, probably almost double-digit times. Haven't been tracking that, but it's been a lot. Probably going to have to ice that right leg tomorrow.
He does do football workouts.
And it's a nice end-over-end kick. Skoog takes it at the 44. And we'll get another look here at the South All-Star offense, drive number 5 here in the second half. Finally burst on the scene with Matthew Bland and that 77-yard touchdown on the previous drive. See if they've got an encore performance coming up for us right here, as they're just 56 yards away from pay dirt, so much better field position. And they'll roll out Shadone yet again to be the signal caller with Powie Alt, the lone man in the backfield. Owen High split out here to this near side as they bring across the formation Stevens. And Shadone, sick fake, bursting his way out to the 40. In a huge 1st down pickup. but flags fly after the play. A lot of contacts coming from both sides. And boy, let's just relive that all over again. First, please do observe the fake there by Shadone. Sucks in the defense, able to get inside of the block. Finally runs into Raymer, who drives him back, brings him down harshly, and kept gator rolling him basically. So I'm not sure if that's what kind of instigated what was to come after. But cooler heads would not prevail there. Looked like there was a little bit of pushing and shoving coming from each end. Looks like the referee here on the near side walking it off as though this would be going against the North All-Stars. But if you just ask the fans, it kind of seems like there's ideas all over the place. And let's see, the dead ball, personal foul, is actually going to go against the South All-Stars, who definitely were starting to build some momentum. So this is a bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street killer. Upset members over there of the South All-Star coaching staff bring out a big cheer over here where there's a lot of North All-Star fans hanging out. So it kind of negates the big play there by Shadone, but still just 1st and 10. So they didn't dig themselves into a hole that they can't get out of. And here is the Skoogster. We've been waiting for him. Victor on 1st down. This is why you love him. He's got a little Manziel to his game. Trying to get away from Parker on the sideline. Runs 50 yards to lose 1. And takes a big lick out of bounds. More laundry on the field. Chippiness starting to become a factor here in the closing minutes of this one. And no surprise, definitely looked like a late hit as Preston Smith of Hillsdale hit him over there on the chalk.
44-yard line.
Not sure if that's what warranted the flag or if there was something beyond that. And the referee's not mic'd up tonight, so I wasn't able to hear which number it was on. But as you watch the replay again, you'll see Smith looks like gets a pretty clean piece of Skoog with 2 feet out of bounds. So the penalty will result in the 3rd 1st down here in the last 2 possessions. More than the South had in all of the game combined up to this point.
40-yard line. 1st and 10.
So they say better late than never. Definitely feels like the offense is starting to get it figured out here in the closing minutes as the Clear Fork tandem can't come up with anything there. Skoog hands off to Alt. Barker blows it up. Had some of his friends backing him up as well. 2nd down and long coming up on the way here for the South, who would love to get some points on the board here and extend beyond just a 1-point cushion. Touchdown would be huge, and obviously that's still 40 yards and a long ways away, but starts you thinking it's an all-star game. Do you then maybe go for 2? Try to put the game on ice or make it just an 8-point game with a PAT? And Skoog fakes it, and Barker all over him, as is Truax. The tandem, the start of the game in Fuego continues to burn on fire. 23 and 24. What a 1-2 punch they've been tonight. Second look here on the Shakley Mechanical replay, and how about the eye discipline for both of those studs? Each of them moving on to play at the next level. Truax, I know, is going to AU because he gets free tuition, and come on, great school, great football program. And he's forced a great 3 and long if you're a fan of the North. Shadone back in. Looking. Escapes a couple and now just chucks it over to the far sideline. Almost got a leaping grab by Will Garrison with one hand, but wouldn't have mattered. You got to have a helmet on and actually be in for it to count. But I do applaud the effort. Check out this. 34, sky high, almost snatched it. But a big stop here for the North. And they're going to get the offense, the football, and an opportunity for some big-time heroics here with just 3:10 to go. We'll see if they roll out Haverstock again. Holloway is their kicker if they were able to move down in the field goal range and have an opportunity for a win. As Young kicks it off to Metzger. And the physicality off of the camera, outside of your screen. We've got Noah Finley here locked up with Landon Pedigo of Highland. You can't see it on your screen, but we've had quite a few conference calls tonight with 2 players in the officiating crew, just being those intermediaries, just making sure that we're keeping the peace. Because for these high school athletes, they're starting to run out of time here. For most of them, this is the last chance they will have in the full armor, in the football helmet, and a chance to play under the lights. Beautiful stadium, big crowd. But sometimes too much is too much. And it looks like we may have an ejection. In the way that photographer Eric Marshall's walking, it looks like he got the boot too. So here is Haverstock. Catches a block. Now zips it deep. Just out of the reach. Had Finley, the Madison senior, on the other end. Nearly was able to accelerate. We've seen the quarterbacks in this fourth quarter. They've done a much better job of just being able to evade some of that instant pressure that's been coming. Perhaps it's fatigue now on the defensive side of things. I mean, these are some big boys that even if you stay in good shape, say if you're a track athlete or compete in weightlifting or whatever it might be here during the spring, being in football shape is something that's very unique, and so is that idea. Cohen Keith tried to flip it back, and it ends up in the hands of the Dirty South, and it's a Mount Gilead player making it happen. Judah Reed coming up with arguably the biggest play of the night. Might have an opportunity to salt away this victory now. Check it out again. Here's Keith with the toss. You see the idea of what they wanted to do. Get into the hands of Camden Wheeler on a double reverse. The execution just was not there. And now it's 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line and set up in prime position to eat some dinner and have some cake with it too here for the South. They can punch this baby in or at least just burn some clock, but still 2 timeouts available in the back pocket now for the coaching staff over of the North All-Stars. So they definitely can't just sit on the football. Can pick up a first down, though, at about the 1-yard line. So it's all boiling down to this last 2:44. North defense trying to get sturdy, stand tall, give themselves a chance here at the end. They'll put Shadone under center. 2 backs behind him. Stevens the lead. And they'll give it to Ricky Mills, who's one of those bruising backs from Mansfield Senior. Had some huge performances out of the running back position for the TY Tigers this past year. I believe he had a 4-touchdown game once. So not a bad guy to kind of be the hammer here to drive in the final nail. Clock rolling closer to 2 minutes. Mills now the lead back. And he's got George behind him. Here's Cameron Lohr. He drops under center. Turns hands. Breathing room very limited again inside. Couple more yards, and now a timeout burned by the North, as they've made it 3rd down. Right around 7 yards to go. So again, a first down can be gained here by the South All-Stars, but they'd have to do it without getting much real estate. So their best bet, probably go to the end zone here. Or do you try to force the North to burn up their last timeout and just keep it on the ground and hope that you can break something out of the pack? That's what they're talking about right now over in the South huddle. For the North here, defensively, it's all about just your assignment, staying disciplined, and definitely no dumb penalties. Can't give them a cheapie. Go with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. Lohr turns hands off. Stutter step, reaching and getting knocked down just shy of first down yardage there is Garrett George. So the clock continues to roll. 4th down, maybe 1 is up. No timeout taken yet for Coach Haverdell and his staff, but they do now. Now they'll pull the trigger. Try to keep as many seconds remaining on the clock as possible. Second look here at George. Looked like he might run into trouble there initially. And then he made a nice move, cutting inside, diving towards the goal line. As Knight drawing in here on the valley. Gosh, what a gorgeous look that is, though. Great sunset. Dynamic turf out here. And the referees, give them credit for definitely keeping everything cool here tonight. We've had a pretty physical game. There have been a lot of chawing back and forth, and I don't think that they've overstepped their boundaries. They've done an excellent job of making this more about football than all the extracurricular stuff. But it's all boiling down here to a big play. And I think for the South that the offense looks like they're going to stay out on the field. Which, how do you disagree with this? They got to pick up less than a yard here. They got Ricky Mills in the backfield. Got a secondary bruiser in George, who you just saw get skinny. Was able to pick up a few. And then Cameron Lohr himself. All great playmakers. And they'll give it to George right side, and he'll head into the end zone, virtually untouched. South squad increases their lead. And a chance to make it an 8-point difference. What an action-packed fourth quarter we have had. Started off scoreless, 0-0. Didn't have our first down of the second half until the 2:38 mark of the third. And now all of a sudden, had that Haverstock TD with about 8 minutes to go. Bland with the biggest play of the night, 77-yarder. And now George into the end zone, the PAT pure. And it's now 14-6. And all the pressure swings on the pendulum back over onto the North offense.
13-7.
Should be a really fun finish.
14-6. South Reed.
Haverstock's been the guy they've been rolling with
41 seconds left in the
at quarterback. Imagine that he's going to be the dude that they put it in his hands here, trying to make something happen. A lot of speed on the perimeter. We've seen guys like Finley, Haydinger, certainly Raymer and Wheeler have had their opportunities. So what kind of package have they even put in with just 4 practices so far? Less than a week playing together? What do they have for a 2-minute drill? Let's find out together as Raymer takes that one. We'll set up the offense at the 25. So 75 yards in between them and a potential game-tying touchdown, but still would need that 2-point conversion. They'll break the huddle with Metzger, the lone wide out here to the near side. And Haverstock looking his way all the way. Crispy route. Had a lot of space there. Fagan giving up about 10 yards. Comes up, clips him down low. And it's definitely enough to move the chains.
out to the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the North.
Trips now to the top of your screen. Haverstock looking that way. Quick fire. Got his man, Evan Hill, trying to fight his way for extra yards. Clock will continue to spin as that's not enough to move the chains. 2nd and 2 coming up. Biggest factor now, of course, the game clock, the time. Haverstock with a fake to the left, comes back right, and just unloads this one as Boone breathing down his neck. Big QB pressure, and was able to knock him down. Here's some young fans. Not sure what to do when they get the TV time. Hey, now we're talking. You think you want to be on TV until the light comes on, and then what? It's time to perform. North needs a couple to move the chains. Low snap, bobbled, and that is disastrous there as Garrett Kern just has to fall on the ball in the backfield. So, of course, the time continues to wind and down to their final down. And you want to get in a quality place. The North is taking their time here. Precious seconds melting away. As Haverstock addresses the huddle, splits it out. 4 wide, 3 to the near side. And he'll take the snap with 32 ticks remaining. Instant pressure from Mills. He gets away, throws backside, and it's dropped. In and out of the hands of Randy Banks. And that is how the game will end. Excellent improvisation that time by the senior Haverstock. But a turnover on downs as Banks just couldn't squeeze it. Ran a good route, but the Bucyrus products couldn't make the big play. So the South just has to come out and take a knee, and boy, what a turnaround for them. They did not move the football at all during this game until they picked up a first down, and then Matthew Bland with the 77-yard touchdown changed everything for him. And they say momentum's a funny thing, especially in high school sports with these young kids. Well, this is a perfect example of that. As Skoog and the boys dancing at midfield inside of the horseshoe. Excellent night of football here. Defense definitely stole the show early. Offenses got it rolling late game. South squad making the plays necessary down the stretch to get the job done as this pack of seniors walks off victorious in their final ever action as high school athletes. We're going to step aside. We will be back with our Carothers Pest Control post-game show that will include an interview with our Shrivers Pharmacy MVPs. We will have an offensive and defensive MVP here tonight. You will hear from both of them when we come back for our post-game show, so keep it here. It's live, it's free, and it's only on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Summertime back then looked a little different. But while summer may change, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips, and let's summer.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Welcome into the Carothers Pest Control post-game show. If you got a pest, call the best. That's what they do at Carothers. I'm Brian Skronsky here with you for the post-game coverage, and really fun night of All-Star football here. I think we got a little dose of kind of everything. If you're one of those guys that really enjoy the big uglies up front, kind of getting their dues, getting talked about, that definitely was a big part of the program early on in that first half. Certainly they were still in the show. The defensive linemen, no question about it. And then offensively, there were some big dudes up front, like Preston Smith right there, number 70, who was voted the offensive lineman of the night, that really had some outstanding performances. All those guys recognized tonight for their big play on the field, including Braylon Boone, who got the Defensive Lineman of the Night award. The Offensive Back award, as presented out here, went to Caden Shadone. The Top Linebacker of the Night, Will Kurtz, got the award there. The Defensive Back Performance of the Night went to Ethan Truax. So those were your award winners, and Ricky Mills of Mansfield Senior also received an award, I think that was for outstanding heart and courage. So big kudos to each of them. And we also here on the OH Report, we've got our own set of MVPs that we're going to be talking to in just a moment. From that team right over there, the South All-Stars, that dug themselves a baby hole. They got down 6-0 in this game, but if you watch this thing from start to finish, you know, like I do, that the momentum meter was sitting at a very cool about 1 on a 10-point scale, and all of a sudden they got a first down, and everything changed for them in the second half, late in the fourth quarter. Big-time play by Matthew Bland. The 77-yard bomb from Caden Shadone got him into the end zone just under 7 minutes to go. And then probably not the best play call by the North, with a little bit of a razzle-dazzle where they did the double reverse, and it ended up going down as a fumble inside of their own 15-yard line. The South pounced on it, and they were able to capitalize with a big touchdown exclamation point, with Garrett George diving into the end zone from Mount Gilead. So kind of came full circle with Mike Reed and the coaching staff for the Indians, getting their guy in there for kind of the cementing touchdown. Though the North, they had an opportunity. They got the football back late time, Jake Haverstock and the boys, and they just couldn't do enough. He put it on the money there to keep the drive alive on fourth down, and Randy Banks just dropped the football. So it led to the South All-Stars becoming victorious here tonight. And that's why they get that beautiful big group photo as the victors in this game. So, to the MVPs and who we thought was the best of the best tonight. Just like they do here, where they vote for the top most outstanding player at each position, we narrowed it down to just the best of the best from offense and defense, and we felt like they both played for the South squad tonight, though there was some stiff competition, certainly defensively here tonight. But Caden Shadone is going to be our offensive MVP of the game. And so we are standing by right now. Hayden Gray down at midfield, you just saw with Caden, and we are going to throw it to him right now.
All right, down here at midfield with our Shrivers Pharmacy player of the game for the offensive side for the South team. I'm here with River Valley's Caden Shadone. Caden, first off, let's just talk about, this is a field where you've had some pretty memorable games as a Viking too. So what was it like to come down here and kind of carve it up one more time?
You know, it's been great. I actually was telling some of the Clear Fork kids that before the game started, I was like, come down to this field. I was like, I always play good on this field, so you never know what's going to happen today. But yeah, it was fun. So I really enjoyed it. It was bittersweet for sure.
You know, kind of a very competitive game there, 0-0 for a while, and then things kind of get chippy in the second half. But does that just kind of speak to the level of competitors that is part of this senior group that was out here today?
For sure. defense it's kind of hard coming in with like just 1 week of practice, getting all offense lined up and whatnot. It takes some time to actually get that going. And we only had a week to do it, so it's kind of expect to come out a little slow and whatnot. But another part of it is that there are some good defensive players out there, and they're just some dogs that really just get down to it and get after it. So.
And then finally, here on the ORH Report, one last time, is there anyone that you want to give any shout-outs to?
Yeah, shout out to Coach Green, my parents, all the teammates here, and all my brothers, all 100 of them.
All right, well, congratulations, Caden. Thanks for taking a moment. I guess we'll bring Braylon in.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right. And now joining me is our defensive player of the game, again brought to you tonight by Shrivers Pharmacy. It's Braylon Boone from Ontario. Braylon, talk to me about the defensive intensity tonight. The game stays pretty not so close. You have a fantastic night tonight. What was it like to get back out here tonight?
It was amazing. I've been wanting to play with these boys a long time. I know they're all very talented, so I just wanted to come out here and give them my best because I know they're giving me their best.
I talked with Caden a little bit about some, it kind of gets chippy there in the second half, but I'll ask you the same question. Does that kind of speak to the level of competitiveness that these seniors for both of your teams, the South and North, have with a lot of familiar faces that you've played before?
Oh, yeah. It always gets chippy out here on the field when, when it's out there and we need a win. So, I mean, we say a couple things back and forth, but, we're out there trying to get the W at the end of the day.
All right, and then one final time, is there anyone you want to give any shout-outs to?
Ricky Mills, hey, you're a beast. And Big Rids, you did your thing on the line.
All right, well, again, our Shrivers Pharmacy player of the game tonight for the defensive side for the winning South team, Braylon Boone from Ontario. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Absolutely. We'll send it back up to you, Brian.
Well, congratulations to both of our MVPs tonight, Caden Shadone, Braylon Boone, helping lead their team to victory, and both of them were some monsters when they needed it most, especially, you see that eye black on Braylon? Literally looked like a monster. Night of the Living Dead type of stuff right there. No wonder he was so effective. The intimidation factor on fleek here tonight. That's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Colt Corral. Really enjoyed all of you hanging out with us and taking in all the All-Star action. For the final time as high school athletes, these football players got an opportunity to lay it all out on the line, and you watched it exclusively right here, live and free. Got to thank my incredible staff for making it happen. Jory Hollenbeck was your top camera tonight. Hayden Gray down there doing some interviews, also getting those silky-looking shots down on the field. Adam Thompson, our director, and a shout-out to Mason Kidwell from KMAC Plus. All of our generous sponsors, too, combining to bring you tonight's action. Couldn't have done it without Blackstone Insurance, Shakley Mechanical, Knox Community Hospital, MWD Logistics, Frito Lay, Carothers Pest Control, and our MVP sponsor, Shrivers Pharmacy. From my team to yours, so long from the Valley. Enjoy a beautiful weekend. Make sure to watch the Ontario Warriors win a state championship on our airwaves tomorrow night. We out.